Hello, my beautiful friends. Today we are going to be making the most magnificent peach cobbler that you have ever tasted. I was really sad to find out last week that at my local farmer's market, almost all of the peaches were gone, except for, of course, these. And they've all been replaced with pumpkins and apples. And while the fall season is exciting for a lot of people, I definitely have a hard time parting way with my beautiful peaches because they're one of my favorite fruits. So I thought that I would send them off with love until next year by making one of my favorite peach dishes. This recipe is dairy-free, gluten-free, and plant-based, and can very easily be made 100% vegan. When I create recipes, I try to come up with recipes that will be very good for a multitude of allergies. Unfortunately, this version of my recipe does have nuts in it, but there is a version that can easily be made without it, and if you guys would also like a video, I would gladly do that, but otherwise I will just leave the second version of the recipe in the description below. So without any further introduction, let's get started. Like any responsible home cook, you can't have safe fruits and vegetables without washing them. So that's what we're gonna do. All you need is water and your hands, but if you feel more comfortable using something like a sponge or a brush, go for it. When considering what type of peach you're gonna use, any variety is going to taste equally as magnificent. But a tip that I wanna give you guys is you can actually use peaches that are on their way out. Definitely do not use spoiled food. If it shows signs of spoilage, mold, or rotting, do not use it. But if it's a little bit wrinkly, a little bit old, this is the best time to make cobbler because this is probably the last time that you will be able to eat this, and it won't taste as good fresh, but it will taste simply amazing in a cobbler. When it comes to a knife, I really like a good quality metal knife that runs all the way through, because you don't want it to slip, and sharper knives for cooking are actually safer than dull ones. So now let's get to cutting the peaches. So now we have an entire pot full of peaches, and we're gonna bring that to the stove. So now that we have this on medium heat, we're gonna be adding a few ingredients to really solidify all those flavors. I'm going to add a teaspoon of ground cloves and vanilla extract. I feel like vanilla extract is the garlic of sweet foods, so honestly, add a little more than you think you might need. A tablespoon and a half of cinnamon. Honey or maple syrup to sweeten. Again, it is entirely your choice and preference. Lemon juice, you can use this from real lemons or the bottle. It does not matter. Use what is comfortable for you. While that's on the oven sauteing, we are going to be using the same bowl that we washed the peaches in to make our crumbly crust. And the best part is, we're actually going to be using a lot of similar ingredients to the ones that we used on the pot over there. So we're gonna need about 2 cups of this almond flour here. We can measure out right here. So this is actually gonna sound a little bit unconventional, but I use olive oil in almost all my baking. I have found that, let's just finish off the whole bottle. So the ratio of this, you're going to want to make sure that you have enough in there, and you can slowly add it in. You're gonna wanna make sure that you have enough to create a doughy consistency, almost like cookie batter. Vanilla extract, and we're just gonna do like 2 splashes like that. So quite a lot again, but I feel like it tastes great, and we're just gonna add a hint of cinnamon this time, so just like a few little taps like that where it lightly dusts the top. And we're gonna add even less of this, so just like one, oh, and nothing came out. We're gonna add 1 little shake of that. And whether or not you're using maple syrup or honey, you're going to add the equivalency of about 2 tablespoons into the mixture. So now that we have all of our ingredients in here, we can start whisking. And we're just gonna want to get all of those clumps of the more liquids and just create a solid texture. Once it looks just the tiniest bit crumbly, it's perfect and we are ready to start loading our pan. So before we load up this beautiful baking dish, we're going to have to preheat our ovens to 350 degrees. Well done. And now we can take our pot of cobbler mixture off the stove, and we are just going to spoon this directly into the dish, just like that. So now, after washing your hands one more time, we are going to be crumbling the cobbler mixture over our beautiful cobbler filling. So this mixture should almost feel like that sand stuff you got as a kid, moon sand. I don't know if some of you are too young to know what that is, but we're just going to crumble it and spread it evenly across the entire surface. So I've just popped the cobbler in our oven, and I will see you guys in about 30 to 45 minutes when the cobbler is golden brown and crispy on the top. Now that it's been 40 minutes, we're going to take this out of the oven. Now that we've given it a chance to cool, let's try it. Absolutely delicious every single time. Well, that's all I have for you today, but thank you so much for spending time with me and making some delicious peach cobbler. Like I mentioned before, the recipes, both versions of them, will be down below in the description. I hope you have just as beautiful of a day as you are. All right, bye.